This is Ben Cohen, and we're going to show you an exercise called the internal hip rotation. This is actually the standard exercise on the answer. The intent of this exercise is to strengthen the muscles that rotate the hip inwardly, which releases the muscles in the low back. What we're going to get Ben to do is back onto the machine. He's going to step on the plates on either side of the rotating disc. The next thing he's going to do is he's going to look down and he's going to place the front of his heel right over the middle of the hole in the answer. You can see when he does that his toe is completely off the front of the machine. Next thing he's going to do is he's going to place all of his weight over the foot that he just placed in the middle of the machine. He'll pick up his other foot and balance, and then he will place it on the front foot plate. The next thing he's going to do, as we explained in the number one exercise, is he's going to go into a posterior pelvic tilt. If you haven't watched that exercise, you need to go back and watch it. So he's gently got the top of his buttocks and his upper back on the back plate. Now he's going to go into a posterior pelvic tilt, and there is no space left in between his low back and the back plate of the machine. The next thing Ben is going to do is extremely slowly, from the muscles of the hip only, he's going to start to rotate the hip, which is over the rotating disc, inwardly, very, very slowly. And we'll see that Ben's foot is going to turn inward, except for the muscles that are turning him are coming from the hip region. Once he's to a point where he has no more range of motion of inward rotation, he is going to hold that position isometrically for 20 seconds. At the end of that 20 seconds, he's going to rotate again from the hip joint inward, and the effect will be that the plate will turn up in tension, and when he's to his maximum there, he holds that isometrically, in other words statically, for 20 seconds. And then at the end of that 20 seconds, he repeats the process one more time. He turns his hip inward to where the effect is that the rotating disc moves. The goal is not to turn the hip inward as far as possible. The goal is to simultaneously maintain the posterior pelvic tilt with the back completely flat against the back plate with no space in between the back and the back plate. No twisting of the pelvis. The only thing that is moving in the body is the hip. And relax, and that was a total of 1 minute. And Ben is going to go back to his starting position first, and then he's going to get off of the machine and he's going to walk for about 20 seconds. You always want to walk after you do any leg exercise or hip exercise on the answer, because it helps the body memorize the new feeling and new position.